The Democrats are for the people. The Republicans are for the corporations. And everybody needs to go out and vote, vote, vote. Because what has happened is the United States government has stolen the money from the people and they got to pay the people back. So you better go vote, vote, vote so we can fix this whole situation. What's really going on with this Democrat-Republic game? What's really going on? Does it really matter? We're going to talk about it. What is the difference between the United States of America versus the United States and what's really going on in this situation? Y'all stay tuned. We're going to get into it today. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri, with the UNARepublic and UNA University. Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, bring it. Welcome everybody. Yeah, I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri. We are in this open session on December 29th, 2022. About to bring in the new year. Yours truly, Diva Lyri. We're gonna do this thing. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Yeah. Y'all get in here and let's go into this session. Yeah. Yeah. My hair don't move. My hair don't move. That's my dance. That is my dance. Let's get into it. Halo, halo, halo. Diva. Yeah. All right, let's get into this thing now. I'm talking today, and I forgot to put my title up, United States versus the United States of America. Is there a difference? Is there a difference between the two? Well, let's go into them and understand what's been going on. So now y'all know when I'm here, we are in session. So y'all better take notes and pay attention. Whoever gave me the hearts, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Say something so I know you're in the room. Make sure you like and share this video because we're going to get into some information today that I would like to share with you. And let me make sure I got my visual aids. I want to make sure I have my visual aids today so that we can go into some things that we're not told. All right, I want to shed some light on some things. All right, so now today once again we're talking about the United States versus the United States of America, and I want to point out some things so that you can see the difference in what's going on. All right, so here we go. Welcome everybody. Let me go to this. Let me put my spectacles on, make sure I don't hit the wrong thing. I want to go to my visual aid. All right. And if I start skipping, y'all let me know. This is an important session. And I don't want any skipping up in the house. Now, pay attention to this. I need y'all to recognize the difference between the United States of America versus the United States of America versus the United States. I'm going to break it down. So y'all make sure you take notes. B bar 4, Halo, Jenny, Evangela's in the house. Halo, one of my students, Jenny. Jenny the boss, yes you are. James. All right, welcome you all. Okay, so we're going into this. What's the difference between the United States of America versus the United States? Now, right now, I'm only talking on these two right now. Notice this United States is with the lowercase u. United. capital states of America. Now, right here, we're talking about the body of land that's known as North America. This lowercase u makes it clear that this is a group of objects. Now, I want y'all to go look up American, because Ameri is a Hebrew term meaning copper colored. All right. Ika, IKA or ICA means land of the indigenous people. America means land of the copper colored people. That's what it means. It had nothing to do with your lighter skinned people. This was specifically, and when you go and look up this term, American, in your 1842 dictionaries, you're going to find out what this term really means. America, Ameri, means copper colored. Ika means land of the indigenous people. America means land of the copper colored people. All right, so now getting back to this. When we're talking about United States with a lowercase u, we're talking about the body of land known as North America. Now, when we're talking about the United States of America, we're talking about a government that was created in 1777. This is a corporation. This right here, this name is a corporation, and today it deals with the federal government. All right. Capital U, United States of America. This deals with the federal government. This is the Republic. This is different than what we know of as the United States, which is a corporation, and we're ready to get into it. Now, again, I said it's owned by the people of America. This is a republic form of government. Remember that it is a republic form of government, and republic, for those of y'all who don't know, this has nothing to do with your garbage Democratic Party and Republic Party. Republican parties and Democratic Party, we're going to find out what that whole soap opera is really about. All right. Republic. Write this down. Y'all take notes so you understand what the real game is. A republic form of government deals with respecting and protecting your God-given rights at all costs. Remember, republic means protecting your God-given rights at all costs. All right, now let's get into this so I can show you something. Once again, when we're talking about United States of America, we're talking about this body of land that we know of as North America. That's what it deals with. All right? So let me zoom in because I need y'all to see something. I need y'all to take note of something. All right? I want you to pay attention to these states. They have names. You see that? It says Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. The names are spelled out. Each one of these states is its own country. Each one of these states is its own country. What does it take to be a country? You got to have a seal, a flag, a constitution, a landmass, and a bank. Each one of these states alone are sovereign. All right, the names spelled out. Each one of these are sovereign. All right. Now I need to go into something because y'all like, okay, Diva, what's okay? What about it? Okay, pay attention to this. In the Constitution, the original organic Constitution, it set up a land that we know of today as Washington, D.C. that is a neutral territory. Washington, D.C. is not a part of the United States of America. Pay attention. It was set up as a neutral territory for the purpose of different states, when they had an issue between each other, they would go to this place and they will settle their disputes, because this is a neutral place. All right. Washington, D.C. is not a state, is not a part of the United States of America. All right. Pay attention. What happened is Britain came in and they created another corporation called the United States. But Diva, you just said this was the United States. No, pay attention now. Notice it says United States. There is no of America on this. It just says United States. This United States. You see all these states in here? This is up under the U.S. U.S.A. They're not the same as the United States of America. This was created in 1871 with the Act of 1871, whereas the United States of America was created in 1777. Now, this is the Republic. This is the democracy. It is a democratic form of government owned by Britain and controlled by Britain. I need y'all to pay attention to something. Notice I said this is a democratic form of government. Now let's talk about what a democratic form of government is. A democratic form of government deals with a mob-ruled organization. Democratic form of governments always end in chaos. In a democratic form of government, the fewer in number have no voice. The problem with a democratic form of government is that because it's mob ruled and the masses are the ones that have the voice, they are easily controlled. A democratic form of government versus the republic form of government that protects your God-given rights. This means that nobody gets to vote for whether or not you have a gun or not. Nobody gets to vote on what the rights that God gave you. Nobody can take them away in a republic form of government, but in a democratic form of government, people vote on what your rights are. They're really privileges. Now, remember, this democratic form of government is right here. It only exists in Washington, D.C. Note this line going here and blowing up this, because this is the only place that the United States exists, in Washington, D.C. Remember that pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. When did we go from being a republic that protected your God-given rights to a democracy? When did that happen? It happened in 1871 with the Act of 1871. You all look it up. Why is this important? Because somebody introduced a fraudulent government for the specific purpose of stealing the authority or usurping the authority from the true United States of America. Who are these people? Once again, owned by Britain. Now, I need y'all to understand, this is not the first time Britain did this. Britain did this in New Zealand. Britain's done it in Australia and other companies or countries, whereby they set up in a territory that is neutral. It's close to the land. And then once they set up this territory, they trick the people. They call it a name similar. They call it a name similar to the corporation. And then they start telling the people, we're the United States. So they have usurped the authority. So I need y'all to understand there's a federal government working in this game. United States of America. And then there's Britain with this fake United States corporation. There's a difference. And I'm going to show you some things, some tools, so that you can understand what the difference is. Now, let me go into this. Let me go into this because I need y'all to see something. Some people are familiar with when we used to address our envelopes, okay? And it would have the full name. Thank you, Real Dude, for the roses. I love you. Thank you. But when we would address it, we would put the full name of it. It wouldn't be GA. All right? It wouldn't be GA. It would be Georgia. It wouldn't be FL. It would be Florida. Note these abbreviations. Notice these abbreviations. This is not the United States of America. This is the democracy. This is the democracy. This is owned by Britain. Somebody has usurped the authority of the true United States of America, the true republic, the true government that protects our God-given rights. So let's understand what happens. All right. These are copyrighted. All of these states here, they're copyrighted by Britain. And so when you go and put on your envelope or when you're mailing something, and instead of spelling it out, Starla, thank you for the love. Thank you for the roses. When instead of spelling it out, you put TX or OK or KS, you put these abbreviations on it, you have now put yourself under the jurisdiction of a foreign corporation owned by Britain. You are not in the United States of America anymore when you are claiming allegiance to this land. This is not even, again, this is just on paper. But because people are using these copyrighted materials, this is why when we're sovereign, we learn how to address things, because when you're using their copyrighted material, what's going to happen is they're going to say, oh, we're hitting you with a $10,000 to $50,000 fine because of copyrighted. You're using our copyrighted material, or you're going to say you're a citizen of this organization. All right. Now, if y'all have any questions, thank you so much for the roses and the love. I appreciate you all so much. If you have questions, please go ahead and leave them because I want to answer them. But I'm going to get a little bit deeper into this so that we can understand what's going on. So I need to go into some history. And let's understand as I take this back what has happened. And how these people have come in and tricked us and made us believe certain things that are not true. Now, when we are looking at this, these are the states. This is the republic, all right, the United States of America. Okay, and remember, a republic form of government protects your God-given rights at all costs. So let's understand how we got here, all right? Thank you all so much for the love. I really do appreciate it. Evangela, yes, you are the top viewer. Yes, you are. All right. Thank you so much for the love. You have consented to the postage rates of the corporate USPS. Okay, so we're going to go into that. I'm going to go into the difference between the USPS and the United States Postal Service. All right. All right, so let's go into this and understand what's going on. I need to go into some history. Y'all pay attention and take notes. All right. When the colonies first started, I need to go back to before 1777, before the United States of America came into play. All right, before that happened. Oh, here we go. Let me get the right one. There we go. All right. So we had all these colonies over here. All of these colonies going down to Georgia. Now, in 1777, before then, these elite Moors had come into the land. All right, and they weren't just from Morocco. They were from other states, but they came into the land and they were trying to establish a place where people could practice their own religion. It didn't matter what your religion was. They wanted you to be able to have freedom to practice whatever religion you desired, okay? And that is why this Constitution, these people, they were mainly Moors and of the Islam faith. However, they did not want there to be a stipulation on what your religion had to be. So they come in, they establish this Constitution. In this Constitution, they were very clear that there would be no royalty. So if you were related to royal blood, if you was a duchess, a king, a queen, a prince, or anything like that, you were not eligible to be president of the United States. And they were very clear to put that in the 13th Amendment. This was in 1777. Okay. Now, what ended up happening is George Washington came into the game. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, George Washington is a crony. He was a crony for the Queen of England. He was directly related, a direct descendant of the Queen of England. He wasn't eligible to be president, but they want you to believe he was the first president when there were at least 6 before him in the Continental Congress. And once again, remember, those elite Moors who established the United States of America, they were melanated. They were melanated. That's why they don't want you to know what was really going on in the Continental Congress. Now, y'all look this up. Diva Lyri is not making it up. I'm giving you the notes so you can go and check it out for yourself. Now, George Washington comes in 1789. Once again, the United States of America was created in 1777. But George Washington comes in 1789. There had to be presidents before him. All right. What he did was he rewrote the Constitution. He took out that 13th Amendment and put something else in its place to hide the fact that he was ineligible to be president in the first place. Okay. So he comes in and he rewrites this Constitution. And remember, he was a direct descendant of the Queen of England. So that was the beginning of England taking back over control, because what happened is those elite Moors, they created the Republic to kick England out and take away their rule over these colonies that were here. These are businesses. All of these colonies, they're businesses. All of the original people of the land, not all of the people, but they were originally known as Indians. All right. They had started to subjugate themselves to Britain, whereby they would pay taxes to Britain. And the elite Moors were like, no, we want you all out, because they were doing dirty deeds to the people as well. All right. So y'all got to understand, even till this day, there are 2 governments working. All right. So you have the states. So you hear them talk about the state, and you've got federal. But then really it's more than 2. But on the bottom line is there is a federal and a county level. And then there's the state. These people here. And the state is a corporation. So what happened what happened, this is what happened. And I need y'all to pay attention now so y'all can understand the game. And I'm going to show you some tools so you can understand how you get tricked every day. All right. I told you, once they got kicked out, each of these states became its own sovereign, meaning it has the Georgia, there's Georgia Republic, North Carolina Republic, South Carolina Republic, and then there's state of Georgia that belongs to Britain. They're different. Georgia Republic, state of Georgia are different entities. This one belongs to the Republic. This one protects your God-given rights. Whereas this one, these belong to Britain. State of Texas, state of Oklahoma, state of Arizona, anything that has of in it, state of something, that's a corporation and it belongs to Britain. All right. So George Washington comes in here in 1789. He rewrites the Constitution, which causes him to go ahead and become president. Now, I need y'all to understand something and why those original framers of the Constitution put that 13th Amendment in there, because they did not want any kind of bloodline control of the United States. I need you all to understand that everybody from George Washington all the way down to Obama were related by blood. George Washington all the way down to Obama were related by blood. And so I need y'all to understand, George Washington, they want you to think he's an Albion. Him and all the way down to Abraham Lincoln and everybody in between them, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, they had melanin in them. So y'all got to start doing your research and understand what's really going on in this game. All right. So we're understanding now, Britain had control from the time George Washington came in 1789 and then continued to run it. Now it was in 1871, when these places, all of these acronyms that you see here were incorporated. U.S. was incorporated. U.S.A. was incorporated. All of these are territories of Britain. So now we're understanding, how when they call it United States, and most people have no clue of the difference. Most people have no clue about the fact that this is a fraudulent organization set up to usurp the authority from the original United States of America. Now, let's understand what's going on the federal side, because it still is operating today. All right, it still is operating today. We just have to understand what it is, and then how to set ourselves up to the point where we're able to effectively do business with the federal government. All right. So we got the federal government over here, and we got the United States Corporation over here. So let's understand this thing that happened with the money, and so we can move forward on this. All right. Originally, when the British came over and they started doing business with the original people of the land, all right, they were trading in notes like IOUs. It was not about gold or silver. It was IOUs. I'm going to do this deal for you, and then I owe you this much, and then when you do that, then I pay you later. It was an IOU. And what ended up happening is these people here started recognizing, wait a minute, these people got a lot of gold. They got a lot of gold. I I tell you what, don't pay me with IOU. Let me get the gold. Just pay me with gold. All right. And so they started using gold in their transaction, but it got too heavy. It's too heavy for me to be carrying around this gold. So then they would put this gold into banks. When they put the gold into banks, the banks were holding it. New York was one of the first ones over here. New York. And the Bank of New York. And they would hold the people's gold. And then the people could write IOUs or checks based off the amount of gold that the bank was holding for them. All right. But what ended up happening is the banks started loaning the gold to these peoples. They keep telling you, oh, the United States government, this ain't no government. This is a private corporation owned by Britain. They borrowed the gold from these federal banks that was holding the gold of the people. They didn't return the gold. They started giving the banks these IOUs that looked like bills. They started giving them notes, other notes. And then the banks were selling more of these garbage notes to the people. And then the people started to get weary. And they was like, hey, you know what? Y'all can take these back. We don't want these. We want our gold back. But these people had loaned the gold to these people to the point where there was no more gold. These people stole the gold, and they kept giving the banks these garbage notes to give to the people. And to the point where we get to 1933 with this HR Resolution 192, whereby they had to go off of the gold standard because there was no more gold in the bank because they loaned it all to these people. So somebody owed the people. These people owe the people because it was your responsibility to take care of the gold, but you didn't. You gave it to these people, and these people gave you more of these garbage notes to sell to the people. So now you got this House Joint Resolution 192. Thank you, Larry Smith. Randy, thank you for joining. I am Santa. Thank you for joining, Smokey. All right. So they're giving all of these notes to be sold to the people, and the people like, no, this is not. This is we want our gold. And so this House Joint Resolution has to come into effect, stating that all of everything is paid off. All right. This is where we get these Social Security numbers, your birth certificate, and all of that, because these are estates that are created because everything is supposed to be paid off. These people are responsible now. This federal government, they're responsible now for allowing these people to get the gold. Now I need y'all to understand something. Let me go into some things before I move forward. I need y'all to understand the difference between these bills, because these people had to create something to be responsible to the people for allowing these folks to steal the gold. And what they did was they created a bill that is backed. All right. And the way that they denote that their bills are federal and that they're backed is with, you'll see a seal on a bill, and it has a letter in it, as you can see here. Okay. That letter denotes that there is a bank that is backing this bill. So your $1 and $2 bills, your $1 and $2 bills, they are backed because they have a seal in them stating that they're backed. Oh, but Diva, but the one, I need that 20, I need that 50, I need that. These aren't backed. This is backed by the federal, meaning the Republic. The Republic is backing these. These, however, are not the same animal. This belongs to these people. How do we know, Diva? You see this seal right here? This says Federal Reserve System. Federal Reserve System belongs to these people over here. The banks are Republic. They're over here. These are not the same animal. They look the same. They might even spin the same for now. But these are not the same. See, this is going back to it. Why you see United States versus the United States of America. What they do is they're going to come in here and they're going to create an entity that looks very much like the federal side, but it's really not. And every time you engage in whatever this product is, then you help to finance these people. They're not the same animal. I'm telling you these things so that you can understand that these entities, they're going to be right next to each other. They look like they're the same, but they are not. And you got to be able to determine the difference between the two. Because once you learn to do that, then you can make these over here, they go either come into order and go away eventually. You want them to come into order, then you got to understand the difference. Thank you, Divine. You got to understand the difference between these two entities. The more you can discern between them, the more you can start doing business over here in the Republic, in the private, as a sovereign. All right, so now we're understanding that there are two different entities, the Republic and the Democratic. This is the original. This is the one that's created to steal or usurp the authority from the original. There is also an original or organic constitution, once again, with the 13th Amendment that originally said there would be no royalty. And over here, you got these other amendments, 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever, that are enslaving all of the people who claim to be citizens of the United States Corporation. Thank you, Vertic, for the rose. Vet Fit Keto. Thank you, Vet. So, in understanding and recognizing these differences, pink socks. Thank you so much for the love. In understanding the difference between these two, let's continue because we've got to start learning how to do business on the federal side. Because somebody has come in here and they're pretending to be something they are not. This is when we're talking about taxes. And y'all like, oh, we got to pay taxes because they said we got to pay. There is no law. Not any law anywhere. How do people go to jail if they go to jail? Because the only time y'all see somebody going to jail is when you're talking about some of these celebrities. They got to scare you. They got to make you think that you're supposed to do something. Thank you, Kelly. Much love. They got to make you think you're supposed to do something when you really don't have to do it. If there's an issue, it's because you said, okay, I'm going to pay you this much in taxes. And then you're held to that. Yeah, you're held to that. But as long as you're not saying I'm going to pay you, then you don't have any, you're not beholden to these people. And when you come in to the university, then you learn how to deal with them. There's a federal side that you deal with when because you're supposed to be getting your money back. Okay, let me get back into this. All right, I told y'all, these people are responsible for your estate because these people stole the gold and they didn't return it. So now what this federal government does is it's employing these people to serve you, the people. The federal government is employing these people to serve you, the people. I'm going to give you somebody mentioned it earlier. The United States Post Office versus the United States Postal Service. Every time you walk into a post office, there are two different entities operating. I told you they be right here, right next to each other. Y'all like, oh, they the same thing. They the same. No, they're not the same. When you walk into the post office, there's a federal side, and then there's this company here running it. The United States Post Office is a federal institution that is for you. This is why it's not, you're not even supposed to be paying for anything. But we show you how to do that. When you're in a university, you learn all these things. Federal, United States Post Office. United States Postal Service is these people. And there are certain things that they're supposed to do for you. But if you don't ask for it, then they're going to charge you. If you don't know what to do and what to say and how to say it, they're going to charge you. All right. So again, it's understanding those little differences. I'm going to give you a big one that I found, that I use all the time. All right. These postage stamps are highly powerful. There is a difference between a United States the United States of America postage stamp versus a forever stamp. I told you they're going to put them right next to each other and make them look like they're the same animal, but they're not. This is a federal instrument. This belongs to these people right here. United States Corporation, Britain. They're not the same animal. When you have a United States of America postage stamp on your document that's truly federally, this real money right here, this is backed, just like this $1 bill is backed. This is backed. This one is not. This is the equivalent of this 20. This has federal protection. This one does not. They look the same, but they're not. And it's important to know the difference. Let me get into it. Why these things are so powerful. I can tell you, I have traveled and lived in South America for quite some time. And when I would get documents coming from North America that didn't have postage, that went through UPS or somebody else's XXL or whatever those other companies are, my stuff would get to me in South America and they putting on gloves and they molesting the hell out of all of my, and I'm feeling violated because I'm like, wait a minute, this belongs to me. Why are you handling and fundling my merchandise? Why? What gives you the right and the privilege to handle my merchandise and looking through it and then have the nerve to charge me for something I already paid for? All right. So I was very upset about this. And then I started doing my research. And I'm going to give y'all some powerful information. When I learned the true power of a stamp, and I started having people to send me my documents or my products via U.S. postage or whatever. Remember, when I say federal, by the way, don't just think federal is just here in North America. It's across this planet. It's across this planet. If something is under federal jurisdiction and it's got a federal stamp, I don't care where it's coming from, nobody better touch it or open it. Or they've created a felony and they go into prison, not jail, prison. This right here is very powerful. So when I started making sure that my postage had stamps on it, and nobody, when it would come to me, they delivered it to me. They didn't ask any questions. They couldn't. Because the only person who has the right to open it is the one whose name is on the document. You open this mail, and it's got a stamp on it. You've committed a federal offense. So one of the things we have to start recognizing is the power of these federal instruments and doing business in the Republic. So, watch this now. I was in Mexico, and I had some love notes. These are our UNA love notes, because UNA has its own currency. So I was sending these love notes through the mail, and I was trying to go deal with DHL and all these other companies, and they were like, no, we can't ship this. They want to know what's in it and all this. We can't ship this because it's going to be stopped at the border. It's going to be stopped at customs. So I went to the post office in Mexico, and I said I need to deliver these, and they were trying to put a metered mail. Now I don't have a metered mail on this one, but y'all know these are when you see metered mails. And now this one happens to have a 0 on it. But when you see metered mail, this is actually them stealing from the federal government, because they're supposed to be putting these stamps on it. When they put that metered mail on there, they're stealing from the federal government, and they're making money off the package too. I won't go into that because everything that with numbers is a financial instrument. But at any rate, when I went into the post office, I said, they tried to put a metered mail label on. I was like, no, I need stamps. So they had to send me to another section where somebody else could go and pull up the stamps or what have you. It takes a little bit longer, but it's much cheaper. And it's going to get to where it's going, and nobody at customs has the authority to open it or inspect it. It better go to whoever's name is on this package, or somebody's committing a federal crime. These things are highly powerful. We need to get into understanding how to operate in the Republic, in the private. All right? So those are just some examples of how powerful these federal tools are in understanding the importance of knowing the difference. This is a forever stamp. It is not the same as this federally backed instrument. I want to furthermore help you to understand something about how you can see the difference. We have been made to believe that this is a government, the United States government, when it is indeed a private corporation owned by Britain. Now, I want to go back to this. All right. When I was speaking about the 1777, when the United States of America Republic was formed, and how Britain was doing all of these just derogatory things to the people. They were the same things they're doing today. You know, having these court cases, not having fair trials, doing harm to the people. Tyranny is what they were partaking in. So we have this United States corporation, and what has happened is all of these companies have incorporated their organization or registered their organization to the United States corporation. That's why they tell, oh, you gotta register, because that's the law. You gotta register your business. You gotta register your child. When you register, you give up ownership of whatever it is that belongs to you, to this fraudulent foreign corporation that's owned by Britain. You've given everything over to these people. That's why when we put things under trust, we move it back over here to the Republic, to the private side. But right now, what has happened is, you didn't know how to do business with the Republic over here. You weren't taught that, and why they're not teaching us that, I don't know, because everything's been infiltrated, but they're still running. But you got to gain knowledge in order to be able to do business with this side. All right. So what's happened? Your mama didn't know how to create an estate for you. She didn't know how to say, okay, well, this is my child. I'm going to create an estate for my child. And then, you federal government folks need to take care of it. She didn't know how to do that. So they created it. These people are holding all of the estates of those who have Social Security numbers. The United States, this right here now is like a big credit union. And you know what happens when you are a part of a credit union? You become part owner. So you're part owner of this organization that's owned by Britain. You're part owner. Because what happened is when your mother signed that birth certificate, she loaned them money. And they took those funds and they invested them. And then it's been interest over the lifespan over your lifespan. So now it's in the millions because it started off at $1 million and it's been compounding interest ever since. So what happens is when you put your all capital letter name or your trust under your own trust, then you move it from here to the Republic. And now you learn how to start operating and using those funds for yourself. All right. We don't go, who owns Britain? That's a good question, Nestrom. Good question. Who owns Britain? I don't want to go into that. We could talk about that. All the organizations that are known to put money into that. We'll get into that. But what I want to go into is understanding what's going on over here. We're told this is a government. It is not. But I need y'all to understand, when y'all are looking online, anything that says .gov, anything that says .gov, it is dealing with this right here. It doesn't have anything to do with the Republic at all. Anything that says .gov, it only deals with these people right here. It has nothing to do with the Republic. It is not government at all. Nothing over here is government. It's private. Nothing over here is government. It's private. And anything that says .gov, it deals with this right here and nothing in the Republic. I need y'all to understand something. When we're talking about Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, they're supposed to be over here working for the Republic. But because people don't know, they're thinking these people have, these people don't even have Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine. They're just using the one that's from the Republic. That's why when you look up the true Navy and the true Air Force and the true Marines, they're not under .gov, they under MIL. .mil for military. So when you're looking for federal, even when you talk about the Federal Reserve banks, they're not under .gov. You find them under .org or .com, but not .gov. The problem is that everything has been infiltrated. People can't tell the difference between this, and these people need you to be confused and discombobulated so that when they introduce a new instrument, that's not theirs, you're going to assume that they are the same thing, but they are not. There's a difference between federal and republic versus democratic. I'm going to see if I have any questions. I want to thank y'all for joining me. User, what's going on? Thank you for joining Larry and Sabrina, Patricia. What's the East Coast? Puerto Rico. Yes, in Puerto Rico is one of the bases for the United States. We'll get deeper into that. Get your hand off the South. I don't know what you're talking about, Trill boy. Do you need a birth certificate? Wise. You don't need a birth certificate, but we learn how to create our own and put those on record. But if you do have a birth certificate, listen, let me say this, because we get people who have their negative way certificate. Listen, let me say this, because we get people who have their negative way or thoughts about old birth certificates. What I say is we need to say thank you. We appreciate you, because now that estate, it has funds in it. It belongs to you. Now you can take it over. You learn how to claim it, and you take it over, and you say thank you, and then you move it over here into the Republic to the point where your funds can't be taken from you. What if you was incarcerated? Need to know if it do. What if you were incarcerated? Listen, you got to understand, okay? By the way, let me go into this, because if you are incarcerated, they incarcerated your all capital letter name. These people can't incarcerate you. These people won't incarcerate you. They're going to get these people to do it. But the only way these people can do it is if you don't know who you are. So when you got to understand what a jail is, what a prison is. It's a bank for a human vessel. That's all it is. It is a bank for the human vessel. And so if your vessel is in that bank, some kind of way you have acted as though you were a dead entity. You acted as though you were a dead entity. When you know who you are, they can't arrest you if they wanted to. These people can't arrest you because they're supposed to be working for you. And if you end up in jail, it's because you were standing as a dead entity. You didn't know. By the way, let me go into this, because FBI, IRS, CIA, they all belong over here. They all over here. FBI, anything with an acronym in it, that's these people. IRS, that's these people. Internal Revenue Service, there's a difference. I told y'all they right there next to each other. Internal Revenue Service, IRS. They sound the same, but one of them's federal. One of them is a private corporation that's owned by Britain. You got to know the difference. So when getting back to if you get incarcerated, they incarcerated your all capital letter name, and you didn't know who you were. You were standing as a dead entity, and so they took your vessel. When you know to claim who you are, then they can't do that. And if you're incarcerated, the estate still belongs to you. Let me say this too. If you're incarcerated, you definitely have an estate. Listen up. If you were incarcerated, you definitely have an estate that's under their jurisdiction. Why? Because that's how they get money. If you don't have an estate, they don't get money. And if they don't get money, they're not going to hold you, because if it don't make money, it don't make sense. And I ain't got time to be playing with you, because I'm not going to feed you for free. You paying when you in jail. It's coming from your estate. If there was no funds, then they're not going to hold you, because they're not going to allow you to leech from them. They're not going to take care of you. You're going to take care of you with your estate. So once you get out, then you learn how to take control of that estate and put your affairs in order so that they can't come after you. All right, let me see if I have any more questions. Is it hard to transfer over? Long Dong Silver. I swear these names on TikTok. It's not that it's hard, Long Dong Silver. What it is you have to be willing to let this knowledge become a part of you. You have to let the law become a part of you. It's not just about, I'm going to do some paperwork and then I'm going to be good. No, you got to know how to stand. All right. It's not just about just coming in. I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I'm gonna be able to, make some money. I'm gonna get my birth certificate authenticated, and I'm gonna be making some. You gotta know the game. Y'all trying to. It's no different than anything else. I mean, basketball. You think you're gonna I'm gonna just go on up here and go on play Michael Jordan. I'm gonna just go on and get all these points. That's not how it works. You gotta study. You gotta get in the game. You gotta play. You gotta do it. And if you're not willing to do that, then it's going to be very hard for you. But as soon as you are willing to let this knowledge become a part of you, just like, dribbling a basketball, I can do it with my eyes closed. Yeah. Then it's going to be easy. The Vatican is right. Yep. But I ain't going into that today. Vet fit. How do we move? It's your girl, Claire. Hey, Claire. All right. What you got to do, once again, we talk about coming into the university. Now, we give a lot of remedy here, just like these things that I'm going over. But we go deeper into it in the university, whereby we are actually walking you through it step by step. So we encourage you to come into the university because, again, there is a lot to know. And you need to know how to stand. If you don't know how to do that, then I don't suggest you start trying to operate if you're not protected. You're not protected if you don't have the knowledge. All right? Yeah, the Vatican, everybody's saying the Vatican, yes. Who owns Britain? Let's see. What was any other questions that I have in here? I'm just scrolling back. If you all have any questions, put them up so that I can answer them before I get out of here. I'm so glad I found your live. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Mind Dream. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Y'all have been lovely today. IRS, FBI, CIA, CPS. Yes, they're all over here. Thank you, Nostrum. All over here. Anything.gov is over here under the British organization. Are you transparent with the cost of this university? Universally connected. Yes. Okay. So I like when somebody asks me if I'm transparent. I try to be very transparent on everything that I do. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So let's go over the price of the university. And you can find this when you go to UNARepublic.com. You can go to UNARepublic.com and you can get more insight on how we operate. So UNA operates under seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. All right. And there are 3 months in each of those seasons. And so we're coming up in winter. Each of our seasons, and y'all pay attention, they're $5,000. All right. And so I hope somebody chokes on that, because then I know you're not supposed to be in the class. All right. But I'm giving this session for free. However, we do have a financing program. In the financing program is $333.33 per month for 6 months. You have to sign up for 6 months. All right. And so once you have made the agreement to join us for those 6 months at $333.33, you also give us a gift of a financial instrument for $10,000. Now, let's understand this. A lot of people ask, well, if money ain't real, then you can't accept the financial instrument. Well, we do accept financial instruments. All right. And you finance those for $333.33 for the 6 months. And then that financial instrument that comes from your estate. All right. Comes from your estate, not from you physically, but from your estate. That's how that works, because we're dealing over here really with the federal government. All right, this is where we're dealing. So it comes from your estate in the Republic. But the $333.33 a month is what you would do for the 6 months. And again, if you want to stay longer, we encourage it, because that's when we really get into the advanced classes where we're talking about banking, setting up your business, setting up your umbrella corporation, and putting everything. Thank you so much, Starla. Thank you, Starla. Much love. Putting everything under your umbrella corporation, we go deep into it. So this is an organization, or university rather, where we walk you through it. We step by step you through the whole thing. All right. So I hope I was transparent enough with that. We are all about making sure you get the information. We want you to get the information. And yeah, you got to pay. Everybody's got to pay. I mean, I'm giving you this session free. And like I said, always we give remedy. We always give remedy in our sessions. And we hope that we can bring you in so that you can start really maneuvering in this game the way you want to maneuver. All right. So let me see if I have any other questions. You have to create a bond. Yes, you do have to create a bond, and bonds are always created. The deal, listen, there is no difference really between what happens when you go and get a car versus what you're doing here. The difference is that we're telling you what's going on and they're not. That's the difference. All right. Coming from your certificate. Yes. Great question. Follow the host. Thank you so much, Ruma. Better day. Thank you for the love. Pink socks. Right. Thank you. Charles Sarati. You have a book. Book coming soon. Foreign grantor trust. Yes. Thank you. But where do I start? May I get the info? Marco, please send a message in the inbox with your number and the best time to contact you. And we're going to do a consultation. It's your girl, Claire. Thank you so much for the love. She says, understood. Thanks so much. Where do we sign up? I missed that part for the university. Put your name in the inbox, and we are going to give you a free consultation so we can bring you on. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Better Day. I appreciate you so much. What university? UNA University. And you can find us at unauniversity.com. Charles says, how do I start, good sister? All right, Charles, send a message so we can give you a free consultation and bring you into the University Foreign Grantors Trust. All right, M. Green, once again, send a message to the inbox so we can bring you in. Didn't do nothing wrong but my taxes. Morgan, we deal with those taxes all the time. And this is the great thing. I had somebody who says, man, I want to get my money back, Diva, because, again, I told y'all there is no money. These people over here in the federal side, they had to back things. They had to back, not only did they back this dollar. And by the way, let me say this real quick. Notice at the top, this says Federal Reserve note, Federal Reserve. Let me see if I can see it. But it's in a box, all right? Whereas on this one, it has Federal Reserve at the top, but it's not in a box. All right, remember, anything inside of a box doesn't really exist. This is not a Federal Reserve note in the sense that this one is. These Federal Reserve notes are owned by the United States Corporation. This is a federal instrument. All right, a true federal instrument. And remember, just because these people say something is federal doesn't mean it's really federal. But there are things that are federal, and you got to be able to tell the difference. All right. I was telling you that there is an estate over here that's set up. And these people are the trustee of the estate. And this is why we've had to go through them in order to get the funds that's supposed to be. They're blocking everything. Why? Because if you don't have to deal with them and you're just going straight over here, these people here will go away. When you don't need them anymore, they have to go away. All right. So that's why they're blocking. All right. But as soon as we get knowledge of what's going on, then we can do business on this side and we won't need them. Starla, you are the top viewer. Yes, you are. Slim Master. UNA, yes, that's what it is. Lash. All right, are you accredited? Oh, thank you for that question. Universal says, are you accredited? Let's understand what accredited means. Y'all pay attention. This is a beautiful, beautiful question, and I'm so glad to go into it. What does accredited mean? Accredited means a school that uses a specific set of books as its curriculum, coming from where? These people. Accredited schools use specific books that come from the control of these people. Well, what are we talking about? When we're talking about book publishing companies, all of your major book publishing companies, they're under the control of who? All those people y'all were just naming, the Vatican and the British. They're controlled. So when you're talking about accredited schools and you're wondering why you don't know this information, because you went to an accredited school, you went to an accredited college, an accredited high school, accredited, yeah, they were all accredited, meaning these people agreed that you can give them the curriculum to the people. Why? Because they're all in this system right here. They're in this system. They're part of this system. In this system, they want you to be ignorant. They don't want you to know what I'm teaching. So no, I'm not accredited. I'm not. UNA is not. What we are is we're going to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We're going to tell you things that they don't know, that even if they did know, they couldn't tell you. We're not under this system. We're not regulated by this system. We're over here in the Republic. We're under God's law, under God's rule. We don't need accreditation. God said to tell the truth, and that's what we're going to do. I hope I answered your question universally. If you get what she's saying, it's worth it. Thank you, California. Let me say this, because we get a lot of people in and they want to get rid of their house note. They want to get rid of the car note. How much is a house note? $100,000, $200,000. Car note, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Student loans, credit card bills, water bill, light bill, gas. You want all of these things going away from you. You're looking at $300,000, $400,000 worth of assets removed. But are you willing to pay for it? Because you pay for those things, but you don't want to pay to get it removed. Everything in this universe has to be paid for. You've got to, whether it's pay attention, because that's energy. Everything is an energy. Money is an energy. You either pay attention, or you're going to pay with your labor and your hard services, or you're going to pay with Federal Reserve notes. You're going to pay. One way or the other, you have to pay. So we're giving you this information where it's a free open session for you to get it. And there is always remedy in these sessions. However, if you're wanting to really get it and walk through it, have somebody there that can help you answer your questions, is it worth it? If you go to one of these Ivy League colleges, you pay $50,000 a year. They're not going to teach you in that accredited school. They're not going to teach you in that school what you're going to learn over here. Not even close. No way will you get over here what you will get over here in the Republic with UNA. So if you don't get that, then this is not the school for you, and we respect that. We hope you find the information that you're looking for. Is it foreign? Is what foreign? Truth hurts. Truth hurts. Universally says, thank you. Are you saying you want the monomer from the trust? Monomer from the trust when? Charles, yes, we deal with the trust. Do you do you do pure trust? We do trust, Larry, that are very powerful. So perhaps you need to explain to me what you mean pure trust. I'm not sure what you're speaking on that. David, send your put an email. Excuse me. Send your inbox to UNA so that we can have a consultation with you. Thank you, Long Dong Silver. Red Badger, contact me. Please send a message, Red Badger, and we will definitely do a consultation with you shortly. By the way, UNA University starts on the 15th of January. We have 3 sessions, beginners, which is back to basics, our intermediate class, which is Whose Court Is It Anyway, where we show you how to sue someone through the whole process and create your own court. And then we have banking, where we're showing you how to deal over here. Yeah, that's an advanced course. You have to be under trust in order to get into that. Melvin, we would love to contact you. Make sure you leave a message in the inbox. Where's the inbox, dear Charles? This is what I want you to do. Go to UNAuniversity.com if you can't find the inbox, and leave us a message there. You can enroll there, or you can go into the profile link, and there's a link there for you to enroll as well. All right. And we'll be glad to have a conversation. Anubis says the gov from your credit. Not sure what you're speaking about. To teach you their ways and program you. Thank you, Starla. That's the point of accredited. Now it makes sense. Education of indoctrination. That's right. What you're teaching. We're teaching law, Pink. We're teaching law, all of the laws, hierarchy of law, universal law, laws of maxim, contract law, federal codes, trusts, treaties, constitutions. We go deep. Peace, New Biru. How are you? Universally Connected says, are you an attorney? Universally Connected, I love you. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions. UNA, we have what we call civil supremes. All right. We don't want you to confuse us with what they call lawyers and attorneys. All right. We're not over here under this. We are civil supremes. Civil meaning knowledge of the law. Supreme meaning highest knowledge of the law. I am a civil supreme. And these people also would have called it an esquire at some point. All right. But a civil supreme is the term that we use to call ourselves. So you got your lawyers, your judges, your civil supremes, highest knowledge of the law. Thank you, Universally Connected. Starla says, I'm ready. Send us a message so we can give you a call, Starla. Scotty says, how do I sign up? Leave a message with your number, and we're going to give you a free consultation. Universally Connected said, that's dope. Thank you, Universally Connected. Sauced Chris, can you not see my question? Ask the question again, Sauce. I don't want to not see your questions. Ask it again. I'm waiting. Chris says, oh, Chris, Chef, Chief. I have a hard time understanding you. Chief says that Chief has shared this session with more than 5 friends. Thank you so much, Chief. I appreciate it. Starla Dream, I'm on it. All right. More University. Attorney means to turn someone over to another. Yes, to turn someone or land, which, all of us, we're walking land. But yeah, to turn it over to someone else. And we're not trying to turn anything over. So we just have knowledge of the law, and we're supreme in it. All right. I'm waiting on Sauce's question. Ask me the question again. Before I get out of here, I want you all to know, I thank you all so much for joining us. You can catch us here once the season starts, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We are just picking it up, going into our new year, 2023, and going into winter 2023. We're going to have those. If you haven't subscribed, we asked you to subscribe. Come on, let's do it. Can you get rid of a mortgage? Yes, Fab. Yes, you can get rid of your mortgage. That's why we bring you in. We show you, because every time they send you boxing, thank you so much for the rose. Every time these people send you a mortgage or some kind of notice concerning your mortgage, or notice concerning your car, concerning your gas bill, water bill, light bill, they are suing you. That's what they're doing. So you got to understand what's going on is a tacit agreement. Tacit agreement. So when they send you a bill and you don't respond, then you have agreed that you owe this amount. All right, that's the first thing to understand. Tacit agreement. Because every time they send you a bill, they're suing you. And so we learn to sue back. We learn to send out lawsuits. This is why contract writing, this is the same thing they tell you, wielding the pen. You know how to wield the pen. You are so powerful. But that's what they've been doing to you the whole time. Well, we gonna flip the script. We flip the script. All right. Then this way you gain your power. All right. Thank you for all the gifts and the love. Where's my friend Sauce? Okay. Sauce, what's the question you had? I'm trying to get your question before I get out of here. Rent, Sabrina. Rent is a little bit for all the gifts and the love. Where's my friend Sauce? Okay. Sauce, what's the question you had? I'm trying to get your question before I get out of here. Rent, Sabrina. Rent is a little bit different. Thank you, saying universally. And I'm trying to get that. Can you get rid? Okay. I'm trying to get the question from Sauce. Do you have a remittance department for your university? No, Anubis. We don't have a specific department, but we will deal with you once we get you enrolled. Sauce, ask your question before I get out of here. I'm waiting on you. Everybody, it's on Sauce. But if y'all have any more questions, ask me before I get out of here. King, George, Bakery, User, Guy, James, Anubis, thank you all for joining. Universally Connected, thank you. You're my special guest for today with all the wonderful questions. Starla, the website is UNARepublic.com. UNARepublic.com. I'm waiting that the Lex, you say you want to ask me, ask. UNARepublic.com. And Sauce, I'm ready to get out of here in 3, 2, going. Oh, 1 second. I'm waiting on Sauce to ask the question. But if Sauce doesn't want to ask the question, let me see. Gratitude, I am Dim. Yes, you are Dim. All right, so listen, or is it Demi? Anyway, listen, I'm ready to get out of here. Make sure you all check us out. We're closing out in a marathon. We're going live every day, to get any questions you all have asked. Today, I went over just a little bit of history, but the importance of understanding the difference between the United States of America versus the United States Corporation. United States Corporation. United States of America Republic is over here. And the Democratic is right here. And where is it reside? Only in Washington, D.C. So when they start talking about taxes and all that, these people don't have jurisdiction in the Republic. They don't. Stop saying you over here by learning how to fill out your mail, learning what to put on your mail, learning how to write your address. Because if you're putting this copyrighted material on it, that's why you are under their jurisdiction. We're going to start operating over here in the Republic, okay? Sleepy got questions. Sauce got questions. What happened? Did my feed go bad or something like that? What do I think about 7 Ray Pierce? Between 7 and 8 o'clock. I wonder if TikTok is suppressing my comments. I just see, Sauce, I just saw a question. Let me see. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I can't see it. I don't see your comment. Did you put curse words in it? Sorry, if you put curse words in the comment, it's probably being suppressed. Is there a way to get out of prison since you have an estate? Yes, California. Thank you for asking that question, because I need y'all to understand something. Everything is about money. All right. There is no such thing as criminal. They tell you it's criminal, but it's not really criminal. Why? Because all of these courts are over here, right here. This is where they are. Only court that's here in the Republic is the Supreme Court. But these people, there are district courts that are federal too. There are district federal courts. But these people have a district court too. Like I told you, they're right there next to each other. They're right there next to each other, but they're not the same. They have a district court that's not federal. So all of these things over here, they are private. And everything deals with money, a payment. It's all what we call commerce. So there is a price for everything. And that includes when you're in prison, there's a price for it. And if you understand how to tap into this, then you can pay for everything. These people, they're acting as though they're government. All of the courts are over here. All of the precincts and state of Georgia and Department of whatever. And the police department of state of Georgia, whatever. They're right here. And so anything over here is private. And anything that these people bring at you as far as a charge, it deals with money. It doesn't matter whether they call it criminal or civil. It's all civil. It all deals with commerce. And there is a price, and you can pay for it. And yes, your estate can pay for it when you know how to operate over here as a sovereign in the private. All right. I haven't saw my three. I didn't see your questions either, Sauce. I was trying to ask. And Bakers, what about credit scores? Oh yeah, credit scores are easy. Oh, so it's my audio questions either, Sauce. I was trying to ask. And Bakers, what about credit scores? Oh yeah, credit scores are easy. Oh, so it's my audio. My video is breaking up that UNA is willing to take. Then we'll be glad to hear your case and then talk to you about what we need to do with respect to taking your case. Okay. So with that being said, I want y'all to know I love you. Y'all have been great and beautiful. Thank you all who have subscribed. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the wonderful gifts. Thank you for the beautiful questions. Thank you for being such beautiful people and being my reflection. I thank you all. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm honored to be able to share this information. I appreciate you sharing the information with other people, because once again, when we write ourselves, the system will write itself. It doesn't have a choice. All right. Yes, bankruptcy too. I love y'all. I'm out. Diva. Bye-bye. Peace. UNA.